What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy James. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button. And before we get into the video, everyone go smash the like button too, because we need the likes and it helps the channel. Today's video is actually something kind of interesting. I was at the gym last night talking with a couple of my buddies, and we were talking about personal trainers in the local area that just don't know anything. They're just spreading terrible information, misleading clients, creating unhealthy practices, just kind of destroying these people. And it got me thinking, the same thing is done on a macro level when it comes to social media. There's so many people out there, fitness influencers, fitness personalities just out there spreading information, false information. There's a ton of false information. There's a ton of people out there that don't know what they're talking about, just preaching out, and people are listening to them. People are taking that information, and it's damaging. You gotta be responsible with the information you put out there. You can't just put out a bunch of crap, because there's a lot of people out there who are new to fitness or who've never had any experience when it comes to fitness, and they're picking that information up and it's warping them, or it's ruining them physically. Like, it's unhealthy, unsafe practices. And that's a big issue. Like, the barrier for entry into this space is nothing. Like, anybody can start a fitness profile. Anyone can start an Instagram, a Twitter, a YouTube, a Facebook, any of that, and start putting out content, putting out information. Everyone has access and can create tons of content and start just shoveling it out there. And there's nobody to kind of call them out necessarily on bad information or false information or just flat out lies. Like, there's no barrier for entry. There's very little regulation at all. I mean, there's a couple like YouTubers or Instagram people that go out there and call out people for false information. But even then, some of those guys are just, have their own agenda. They just want to create controversy, so they target big people that are kind of like easy targets. A lot of this stuff that I'm going to talk about in this video can be taken into like real world situations when it comes to like when you're hiring a coach or a personal trainer, because a lot of the information is interchangeable. Like, the barrier for entry to become a personal trainer is low as hell. Like, anybody can get a certification. There's no college degree required. You just need like $1,000 in a textbook, and you can pick up just about any certification there is. There's a couple certifications out there that require you to have a college degree, but 90% of them don't require that. Like, anybody can do it. Someone who's never trained a day in their life can go pick up a book. If they're good at taking a test, studying, and boom, they're a personal trainer. Or your first day lifting, you could go grab your phone, start an Instagram, start taking some photos, put it out content, and people might listen to you. Like, that's the crazy thing about this. Like, it's great because everybody has a voice, but it's bad because everyone has a voice, and some of those voices are super uneducated and just spreading just flat out lies. There's a lot of things you got to look for, like kind of telltale signs when it comes to who you're going to follow on Instagram, or if you're hiring a coach, things to look out for. You want to stay away from those people out there that claim that they know everything. Fitness, health, all of that is such a broad, vast topic. It is impossible for someone to know everything that's out there. Plus, on top of that, there's new studies every single day coming out. If you see somebody out there and they're claiming to know everything, that's a red flag, because nobody knows everything. I don't know everything. I've been doing it for 15 years. I don't know anywhere near everything. Like, there's so much more. I could study for the next 2 decades and still not know everything. Another big red flag is if they are preaching like a one-size-fits-all, or this is perfect for everyone kind of approach. There's no one-size-fits-all approach to fitness. Just flat out. Everyone has different genetics, different training ages, different lifestyle. There's just so many different factors that go into that. Take two people, have them do the same program. Maybe one person has a really strong genetic adaptation to training, and then the other maybe has a slower adaptation. Maybe one of them has never trained before. The other one has 5 years of training experience. They do the same program, the exact same program, eat the same exact thing, and they will look. They're never going to look the same. It doesn't matter. So there is no. Be wary of people who preach that you can look like them if you follow this program. They're just trying to sell you something. They're trying to make a quick buck. There's no program that you can follow that's gonna get you exactly like somebody else. There's no way. You're never gonna look exactly like somebody else. It's just, and you don't wanna look exactly like somebody else. You're you, be you. Don't worry about trying to be somebody else. Another red flag is along the same lines as if somebody's preaching how easy it is, 30 days, lose 30 pounds. If they're preaching a quick fix or a quick solution, like insane results in a short amount of time, that's another, I hate to say it, but that's another red flag. Stay away from those guys, because those people are just trying to cash in. They're trying to make some money. There is no quick solution. And to be honest, if something's easy, something's quick, you don't want that, because it's not sustainable. It's not gonna last. You may drop that 30 pounds, but I guarantee you're gonna put 35 pounds on the next month. There's no way for you to sustain that diet, that lifestyle, all right? It's just a quick gimmick, all right? And you wanna stay away from the gimmicks. Along the lines of staying away from the gimmicks, stay away, be careful of the people who are constantly pushing supplements at you, all right? This is the only thing you need, or this is what's gonna set you apart, or if you take these supplements, you're gonna look like this. Like, if they're preaching supplements first, that's a red flag, all right? Because supplements, and I've worked with supplement companies in the past, I work with a couple supplement companies now, and I love supplements. I take supplements on a daily basis, but supplements are not the end all be all, right? Supplements are exactly that. They're there to supplement. They are not the sole focus, all right? If somebody's coming up to you first and they're saying you need to buy this, 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 and this, and take these, and like that's their first thing that they're putting out there, that's a huge red flag, because they should be adjusting your sleep, they should be adjusting your recovery, they should be adjusting your training style, your nutrition, all of that go first, and then supplements. Once those 4 areas, the sleep, recovery, training, and nutrition, are all on point, then you can start implementing supplements. Then supplements start to help. But if none of those are, if none of those are set, that's like washing your car when it doesn't drive. Like, what's the point of washing your car if you can't drive it, right? It's the same thing. If you're not taking care of the 4 basics and you're just focused on, oh, I need these supplements because that's going to give me this result, you're wasting your time, and they're just trying to grab some money from you. There's 2 other major red flags I'm going to point out. The first one being, it's basically staying away from closed-minded people. It's okay to specialize in something. It's okay to be like, I'm a CrossFit, or I'm a bodybuilder, or I'm a powerlifter. Like, these are my specialty. That's my specialty. It's okay to specialize. But if that is the only one-size-fits-all approach that you're preaching, and you don't see the value of other things, that's kind of a red flag. Like, you're unable to see the benefits of doing other things. Like, when it comes to like keto, I don't really enjoy keto. I don't think it's great. Just because I don't like it though, I still understand and still appreciate that it has a place and it works for certain people and it has major benefits for certain people. So I've put clients on keto diets before because that's what they needed, or that I thought that was going to be the best for that person. It's going to benefit somebody, I'll put them on a keto diet. That's kind of a sign of, oh, this person is knowledgeable, right? Because I'm knowledgeable enough to know that just because that there's not one way of doing something, right? I'm willing to expand my horizon on what else is out there. So pay attention to that. If they're not willing to be open-minded about other training styles or modalities or nutrition, it's a red flag. The last one I want to touch on is people who are not continually improving their education, right? You want to be careful of trainers who think, because it goes back into like thinking that they know everything. You want to find a trainer or a fitness personality who's constantly elevating their game, who's constantly trying to learn new things and expand their knowledge base. If they're not trying to continue to elevate their game, you kind of want to stay away from them. So what should you look for? What should you look for when you're looking at people online, and when you're trying to find a trainer maybe, or when you're trying to find somebody who's knowledgeable online to listen to? What should you be looking for? I pointed out the red flags, kind of like we need to steer away from this person, but what should you be looking for? I'd say the number one thing you want to look for is that knowledge base. You want to try to, do they have certifications? Certifications are not the end all be all. Don't get me wrong. There's plenty of certified trainers out there, like I said earlier, that don't know shit. But you want to look for knowledge. Look for something in their videos or their posts that shows that they're actually explaining something. Like, you can generally tell right off the bat whether or not somebody's just spewing garbage or recycling information that they've heard that they don't really fully understand. Just pay attention to that. The second thing you want to look for experience. Like I said earlier, it's real easy for somebody to start Instagram. They just started training, right? How long have they been training for? Have they been training for 2 years? Have they been training for 20 years? How many clients have they trained? Have they trained thousands of clients? Have they only trained like 1 or 2 people? Or are they just starting their business? There's nothing wrong with supporting new trainers, like getting their business going, like if they haven't trained anybody. But you want to be conscious of how many people has this person actually trained. Third thing you want to look for, and this is people are going to argue with me over this, but I think it's a huge part of it. You have to look the part. I don't mean you always have to be like stage ready, or you always have to be, peaked for a meet. Like, you don't have to, I'm not saying that you're walking around 24/7, shredded, strong as fuck, ready to deadlift 1,000 pounds. But you have to at least have done it before. If you're trying to diet somebody down for a show and you've never done a show, it's very hard. Or if you haven't trained, lots and lots of clients to get ready for a show, you don't really know the detail. You may know in theory how to do it, but there's a lot of little intangibles that the books don't cover. Like, that experience kind of has a huge role. You can't discount the knowledge and the experience that somebody gains from dieting down to single-digit body fats, or peaking for a meet, or what it's like to be on the platform, actually competing. In theory, you can look and you can read a lot about that, but it's completely different to actually put that into practice. Like, if somebody's never dieted down, or bulked up and then dieted down, it's very hard for me to take them seriously and believe that they know what that process is like. The first person I prepped for a show, I would do it completely different now if I going back to it, right? Because now I've done multiple shows. I've worked with a lot of coaches. I've done, I've expanded my knowledge base. I've prepped more people for shows. So it's a completely different process that I gained from that experience, right? So you can call it what you want. You can call that experience. You can call that looking the part. But I think if you haven't done it before, it's very hard for you to tell somebody how to do it. You can argue with me all you want, but I think you can't discount that. That being said, though, that is like the third. That's the third on the list. It's not number one for a reason, because there are a lot of genetic people out there, genetic freaks, who eat like trash, train like an idiot, and look amazing. It still has weight, it still carries impact, because the majority of people it applies to, but there's still those outliers. It's important, it's not number one, and it's not the end all be all, but it still carries some weight. Hopefully this video helps. I'm not trying to throw shade at anybody. I'm not gonna drop names of people who I think are just spreading nonsense. I'll leave that up to you guys. But I wanted to put this video out because I think it's important. It's important for people to realize this and have this information in their back pocket when they're looking at somebody online, or looking somebody on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube, or even when they're going out and hiring a coach for themselves. You want to have all this in the back of your head, because it gives you an idea of, is this person somebody that I can trust? And that's huge. That's huge nowadays, because there's so many people out there spreading bad information, and you don't want to get wrapped up into that. So hopefully this video helped. If you guys liked it, hit that like button, leave a comment below. Let me know who you look up to in the fitness industry, who you follow, and who you trust in the fitness industry. Leave that in the comment below. I want to know. It'd be interesting. I'll talk to you guys next time. Stay savage, my friends.